In this video, we're going to discuss the point-slope form of an equation of a line. So there are different ways to write the equation of a line. We talked about one in a previous video. We'll talk about another in a future video. But in this video, we're focusing on point-slope form, and the name's not very creative, but it tells you exactly what you need in order to use it. You need a point on the line, and you need the slope. So x1 and y1 are going to be the coordinates of any point on the line that you want to use, and m is the slope. So here we want to write an equation in point-slope form of a line that has a slope of 4 over 5 and passes through the point 5, negative 2. So this was our point-slope form on the previous slide. And so we're just going to be substituting the slope for m and then the coordinates of the point for x1 and y1. So y1 is negative 2, and we're subtracting that in the formula. So it'll be y minus negative 2 there. And then m was 4 over 5. And then we have x minus x1, and x1 is 5 in this case. So that would be an acceptable way to write it, or we could write it as y plus 2 on the left since it's y minus negative 2. And that is the point-slope form for the equation. We can graph this pretty easily. We know one point on the line is 5, negative 2, so we can start by plotting that point. And then to find a second point on the line, we can use the slope. So if we think of that as rise over run, we're going up 4 and over 5. So if we start at the point we plotted, we go up 4, and we're at a y value of 2, and then over 5, we're at an x value of 10. And then we can just draw the line. Here we're given 2 points instead of being given the slope and 1 point like we were in the previous example, but we can find the slope using those 2 points. So we'll subtract the y values in the numerator and the x values in the denominator very carefully. That's negative 2 plus 4, so that is 2. So the slope is negative 3 halves. And we want to write the equation in point-slope form. So we can use either point. There's always going to be many ways to write an equation for a line if you're using point-slope form, because you can use any point on the line. So we could use the first point, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So that would be one way to write it. Or we could use the other point and make it y minus 2 equals negative 3 halves times x minus negative 2. Which is x plus 2. So either of those would be acceptable.